I am at a loss for words. Right after watching this finale, my brain literally refused to even process this episode. I actually had to think for a while after watching this episode. I had to sit on it for almost a whole day just to process what just happened. I have very mixed feelings right now. I'm confused, tired, a little bit disappointed, but also in some weird, twisted way, also satisfied. And not only because Ellie ended up siding with Riya in the challenge, just like I had hoped, but also because, considering the season's many ups and downs, this ending seems to work just fine. I'll spend a few words on the challenge, and then I have so much to say about Riya. A little less about Jake though, which is weird because we never talk about him, right? But Riya's victory, it probably deserves a whole video of its own. But let's get started. Just like the rest of us, Ashley too finds Jake's and Tom's relationship issues excruciating to watch, so she volunteers to help those two finally confess their feelings for each other and just put an end to all this, at last. I guess it is very fitting in a way that it's Ashley helping them take that one final step to end up together. After all, she's the only one who cared enough to help Jake through his sentimental issues, yet the only thing she did here was suggesting Tom should take her place as Jake's helper, and that's that. I admit, I was really hoping for something more than this. Tom being so torn and anxious before talking to Jake was probably supposed to feel extremely wholesome in a way to the audience, but it just didn't. Same for Ali, Hunter, and Tess all hanging out and playing Switch games together. Instead of warming our hearts and us going like, oh, that's their thing, they're doing their thing, it was more like, okay, this again? They can't solve all their issues playing Nintendo games together. Although Mario Party is indeed an awesome game, but come on. Although I do admit I do love this more badass side of Tess.
What's she gonna do? Boot us?
I do believe a more careless and rebellious attitude would have fitted her character extremely well. It was cool to see Ali realize that she is sometimes insufferable, at least she too is acknowledging her problems, yet I don't love how her relationship with Hunter, which seemed to be on the verge of collapsing just a few episodes ago, it ended up being fixed in a couple of seconds after one chat. Ali surely grew a lot during these past few episodes, but I would have preferred to see both her and Hunter grow together. For the final challenge, Jake is stuck with Ali and Tom, two helpers he didn't even pick. It kinda sucks that he's not calling the shots, not even in the finale, whereas Ellie and Alec will be siding with Riya instead. The campers must simply survive in the Coliseum's arena for about half an hour, and the finalists also need to avoid getting shots if they don't want their opponent to win a reward. I do like the challenge and how it went down. Perhaps the first 10 minutes went by way too quickly, but the rest, yeah, it worked really well. Seeing Fiore jump down from the bleachers and run to check on Alec after he got injured, it was so beautiful to see, and not really because it was a nice moment of the two of them being a nice duo, but because that's also something that she would never have done back in season 1. This really goes to show how much she has grown as well. It even supports what Connor said about everyone changing except for Riya. And only now do I understand why Yul got that little introspective moment in episode 19. That was probably meant to show that even the biggest asshole of all managed to take stock of his life, and does indeed have the potential to improve, yet Riya is the only one who just couldn't do it. Gabby then joins in to protect Ellie and even replace Alec. I also assume she did it to earn some more money so she can just give it to Ellie. And at this point, you might think that Riya here is a great strategist and schemer, but in reality, most of her gameplay simply involves throwing rocks at people. Really? If you notice, that seems to be the main focus of her strategy. Or should I say, the main cornerstone of her strategy. Cornerstone. Stone? Rocks? Stone? In doing so though, she ends up hurting Gabby as well, and after hurting our queen Gabby, I can't help but quote the very powerful words that a wise woman once said in episode 11. Riya, you bitch! How could you? She's an angel, and she's also the only one except for Connor who initially cared for you around here. For some reason, I don't even remember why she liked you, and this is how you repay her? Gabby? No, you crossed the line. Still, what maddens me, and somehow no one is talking about this, possibly, because everyone is so shocked by the ending that everything else kinda fades into the background, it's that although Gabby and Ellie did help Riya during the first portion of the challenge, they did not receive any money whatsoever. Why is it? Because they gave up. Okay, it would make sense, yet the second portion of the challenge, if you remember, did not require any helpers at all. So at the end of the day, those two only gave up after the whole challenge was over, and after they'd done what they were supposed to do, so they were robbed of $100,000 each for no reason. From a writing standpoint, the ending wouldn't have felt this powerful had some of the good guys also earned some money. It simply hits a whole lot harder when it's just Riya who goes back home with the money, and I guess Yul too, since he's not a good guy either, so it still works, and obviously it would have worked against this whole narrative that they've been trying to build towards to give any of the good guys a cut of the money, especially after Ellie came to the realization that money is not everything. Yet, do you realize that in-universe, those two got screwed over big time by the producers? Had they given up before the end of the timer, then it would have made sense, but the fact that they didn't get rewarded despite competing the entire time, it's bullshit. Maybe they had in mind something for the helpers to do during the final challenge, but, because Riya didn't have any helpers, they didn't do it. But if they don't tell us that's the case, then how would I know? In the final portion of the challenge, Jake and Riya will face one another in a 1v1 duel, where the first match was extremely anticlimactic and it ended in like a second, and the rest instead was all fairly entertaining. But I guess the animation was still not ideal. We've discussed this before in my episode 13 review, I think. I know that we can't ask them to animate that many crazy fights and all, but this is the very final challenge. I was hoping for it to be a little more dynamic than this. Even just for the very final portion of the very last challenge, that just felt like the right moment to give it their all. Also, when Riya hit him in the throat and pushed him off the platform, I really think Jake should have made some kind of noise there to make it all more realistic. Tom and Ellie's reactions were absolutely appropriate, yet because Jake didn't make any noise there, it just didn't seem like that big of a deal at first. Oh yeah, and Tom and Jake also kiss here. Okay, I kinda lost interest in this relationship a very long time ago, but I guess it was supposed to happen and this was a good moment for it, so thumbs up, although it just took them way too long. 21 episodes for this. Maybe they could have sped this up a little bit. Finally, in the final round, Riya scores the last point, winning the season and the $3 million. But that final showdown though, when she pushed Jake off the platform and everyone was petrified watching the whole thing unravel, it just didn't feel right. It felt a little incomplete in my opinion. It kinda gave the impression that there was still something else coming, as if there was still 1 or 2 more scenes before the end of the fight. Yet, it all ended there, a little too abruptly. They didn't really struggle much before she pushed him. It didn't feel like the epic final moment of the final round, of the final fight, of the final episode on the final countdown. It could have been a little more epic in my opinion. With this though, Riya goes home with the money and with the realization that she is completely and utterly alone. Now, not to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty sure I spelled it out for you guys pretty clearly, didn't I? Did I, or did I not tell you that Riya was gonna get redeemed and that I was confident Jake would win the money? And did I or did I not tell you that my predictions must be incorrect at all times, otherwise the fabric of the universe would just dissolve? The universe is still intact, therefore Riya had to win. How did you guys not see it coming? It's crazy that you guys are surprised by Riya's victory. You had all the clues to figure this out yourselves. But still, no one listened. You fools. How many times do I have to be wrong before you people start listening? Let this be a cautionary tale. Listen and pay attention to these little clues and don't trust my predictions. Ever, ever. You're gonna end up either dead or in jail, so don't. Oh, just like Emily. Emily's in jail. In all this, she's gonna end up in jail. Cool. I hate this for her, but I guess it's fair. And talking about cautionary tales, I think this is the best way to define Riya's character journey. Riya could have gotten her redemption time and time again, she had plenty of opportunities, yet she decided not to take any one of those. She chose her path, and she has no one else to blame but herself. I actually really liked how Riya was given one very last chance to get redeemed and have a somewhat happy ending just a few seconds before winning the prize. Yet, the moment she won the money, her chances of being redeemed and forgiven were just gone. It's as if she crossed the line that she shouldn't have crossed. There was just no turning back. Of course, let's not pretend Riya had it all a few minutes before and then she threw it all away the moment she won, because realistically speaking, she had no friends nor allies, so the only thing she had was Connor, who perhaps would have even taken her back had she stepped down and decided to change her ways. But she didn't. It's pretty common in media to have an evil character get redeemed, become a better person, and stay that way, but it's not so common to have a good guy turn evil and stay evil until it's too late for them. So I really like this idea. And also, the concept of a character finding out a little too late that what they wanted was not necessarily what they needed all along, it's always been fascinating to me for some reason. I just love this kind of thing. All this, of course, could have been executed a little bit better, especially had Riya had some more introspective moments scattered throughout the season, but this too is also fine. And to all the people that keep saying Riya is the best written character on the show, I say she is indeed an interesting character, and the concept, let's say the whole gist of Riya, is very good and maybe even pretty original, yet the execution was not optimal. But this is not entirely a season 3 problem, you know, most of it just stems from season 2. About Jake, I'll just say that his being inconsistent and often relapsing, never having a definitive growth, it kinda ended up working in his favor, because had he indeed gone through some major and inspiring catharsis, or had another character such as Gretz gone through a remarkable character journey only to later lose in the finale against Riya, well, we can all agree that that would have been a huge insult to the audience. Instead, the fact that Jake was never perfect in any way, shape or form, it made the finale work a whole lot better and made Riya's victory way easier to accept. His character is still all over the place, but now I can accept it, I guess. Of course, though, a Jake win would have been amazing for everyone else in the cast, as first of all, he would have used part of the money to save Ashley's farm, he could have given some money to Miriam just to pay her back after she was so generous with him, he could have given Ali a cut of the money too, just to bury the hatchet, of course, he definitely would have shared it with Tom, and he might have helped Ellie too, I guess, just to show the audience that he can indeed be the bigger person and help others in need, especially because Tom is friends with Gabby, and I think he might want to help her out. As for the episode, I did really like it. It's very solid. Not one of my favorites, of course, and it's still nowhere near the season 1 finale, yet compared to the season 2 finale, it does tell a more interesting story. I don't really love the season 2 finale, really. I also don't really mind this ending. Does it screw over the audience? Yes. Does it make almost everyone upset at the end of the day? Also yes, perhaps, because no matter who any of us rooted for this season, none of our favorite campers actually won the money. And if Riya was indeed your favorite, she might have won the money, but she also got a very hollow victory. It basically deprived her of any true sense of achievement, so it's as if nobody won. Compared to the other options, so either Jake or Ali winning, I guess this ending is kinda more interesting and more original. However, compared to a Gret win, well, that would have been 100,000 times better. She really did deserve to win. But I guess compared to Jake and Ali, maybe this is the better option. This finale did give us some pretty funny jokes that made us laugh, a few romantic moments that made shippers go crazy, bonding moments that made us excited and perhaps melted a few hearts, a few decisions perhaps made us mad, and the final result kinda surprised us and was both bitter and sweet. This finale is the very definition of a bittersweet ending. Instead of giving us a predictable, happy and sappy ending, they prefer to go for a more surprising outcome. And although sometimes it does seem like the writers do value shocking the audience above anything else, this finale is still better than the alternatives. The Jake and Ali alternatives, not the Gret alternative. What made this ending work so much better, in my opinion, is that little nod to what Rosa Maria said after her elimination. You may win the money, but you will be alone in the end. And even what Connor said about being disappointed in her, it was yet another callback to Rosa's words. And actually, remember what I said in my 9th review about how switching out Tess for Rosa Maria would have made no difference in the grand scheme of things. Well, at this point, having her come back instead of Tess, it kinda would have felt more appropriate given Riya's victory and given everything Rosa told her in the past. I don't love Rosa Maria as a character, but I do see how her presence this season could have really benefited Riya's arc quite a lot. We finally end the season with Riya checking everyone's stories as we find out that Ellie and Tess finally graduated, and it's weird how Gabby didn't dress up for the occasion there. Ali then reached 100 million, yeah, you wish. Ali then reached 100, again, no, it's just 1 million. It's already a lot, honestly, but 1 million followers on Twitch. Gret started a brand new chapter of her life with her newfound confidence. Alec and Fiore are spending time together outside of the game too, that's pretty cool. And my favorite one of all, Ashley, Will, Lil and Nick all going out for drinks together, just as Ashley had planned in episode 7. Please bring back Lil and Nick, I love them so much. And of course, we also see Connor getting married, while still wearing sunglasses on the altar. Who doesn't wear a suit and sunglasses on their wedding day? This bittersweet ending works especially well with Connor getting married. I actually really like that. Although I still think it should have been Lil marrying him instead. Had he appeared on the altar along with Lil in the end without any kind of explanation, completely out of nowhere, just like that, for no reason whatsoever, that would have been both hilarious and definitely more interesting than seeing this random woman right here. He and Lil would have been such a great couple. I have nothing against this woman, I'm sure she's amazing. I mean, she is a drawing, and she's not even a drawing with a personality or a name, but you get the point. Lil is so awesome, she deserved a happy ending too. At the very least though, Connor did get the happy ending he was hoping for, as he mentioned in episode 4, and I do hope he will eventually also have a family, just like he's always wanted. A sad version of the outro plays as we say goodbye to the cast we got to know and love over the past few years. The Gen 1 cast, that is. The Gen 2 cast can end up in a ditch and die, I don't really care. I'm kidding. I do hope we'll see them all of them, in some more mini-series or maybe, I don't know, a new season later down the line. Also, I didn't know when or where to mention this in the review because it's not really connected to anything I've said so far, but I absolutely love the background music for the entire second half of the episode. It was really amazing. I don't know who's responsible for that, but props to you. With this being said, it's been about 8 months and 21 reviews that we've done together, and I am a little bit emotional for real. This was one heck of a journey, and even though the season didn't really turn out as we expected or predicted, of course, it was still entertaining, full of surprises and memorable moments, and more importantly, I had a lot of fun reviewing it with you guys. This thing we had going on with our reviews together, I'm gonna miss it. Thank you all for watching all of these reviews, sharing your thoughts in the comments, for all your nice words. You're awesome, really. Never change. Or rather, do change. Don't do like Riya, for the love of God, don't follow in her footsteps. I'll see you guys in a few days with my final retrospective of the season. I'll just take a little break from the show for just a week or so, and only then I'll start rewatching the episodes and writing the retrospective, so it's gonna take a while. In the meantime though, I'll keep watching the DISVENTURE CAMP mini-series, and I will also review them, just only after all the episodes are out. I'm done with weekly reviews for a while. I also have to get ready for Phineas and Ferb weekly reviews. It's gonna be a mess. I have so many things that I wanna do. At this point, do absolutely let me know your thoughts on Jake, on Riya, and more importantly, on her victory. I'm really dying to know your thoughts on it. Whether you wanna write a whole essay or just a single sentence, it's fine. I'm just very curious, really. Thank you all for the last time so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao. Oh, and also, Jake and Tom finally got to go to that Chinese restaurant they've been dying to go since the beta version of the show. Everything is tied up in a neat little package with a tiny little bow, except I guess Riya won and got the money all for herself instead of the money going to someone more deserving of it, like Gabby, who was robbed because of that damn elimination. Gabby! No! Gabby.